Hello students, we are to discuss fertilization, post-fertilization changes and reproductive health. What is fertilization? Fusion of male and female gamete to form the zygote. Sperms are deposited on the vaginal passage during sexual intercourse. The sperms then travel up through the uterus and reach the fallopian tube or the oviduct, where it might encounter an egg. If this happens, then it results in fertilization and thus zygote is formed. This zygote is then implanted on the uterine wall. Every month, the uterus makes elaborate preparations to receive the zygote. Now, what are these preparations? The lining of the uterus becomes thick and spongy, and it is richly supplied with blood capillaries. This zygote then undergoes several divisions and it becomes the embryo. The embryo receives nourishment from a specialized tissue which is disc-shaped and is called placenta. The placenta is produced into finger-like projections called villi. On the side of the embryo, it is provided with villi, and on the mother's side are blood spaces which surround the villi. The placenta provides nourishment to the fetus in the form of oxygen and glucose. It also helps in the excretion of waste that is generated by the fetus into the mother's blood. Thus, the embryo undergoes development and start developing body parts. At this stage, it is known as fetus. The fetus remains in the mother's womb for 9 months, where it undergoes complete growth and development. At the end of the 9th month, the fetus is delivered by the rhythmic contraction of the uterine muscles. Now, if fertilization does not take place, all the preparations that is done by the uterus is a waste. The egg that is released remains alive only for 1 day. Therefore, the lining of the uterus breaks and it is discharged in the form of blood and mucus through the vagina, and along with it, the egg is also flushed out. This flow of blood and mucus is known as menstrual flow. It lasts for 2 to 8 days and it happens once in a month. The first menstrual flow is known as menarche, and after the age of 50, this fertility cycle stops and this period is known as menopause. Now let us see what is this reproductive health. A person when attains puberty, the reproductive tissues start maturing and gametes are released. But along with that, the somatic cells also function, but at a slower pace. So there is growth and development which is slower, or it slows down. Now at this time, though the body is mature enough, mentally we are not prepared for such acts and for bringing up children, which is a great responsibility. Not only this, in certain sections of the society, the females are married off at a very early age and they are under the pressure of having children. Apart from this, government agencies also pressurize people to limit the number of children. Another aspect to this is prevention of sexually transmitted diseases, because the sexual act is a very intimate act where the bodies are in close contact and there is the exchange of fluids. So there is a chance of transmission of diseases. Such diseases are known as sexually transmitted diseases. It can be bacterial or viral. Examples of bacterial diseases are syphilis and gonorrhea, while viral diseases are warts and AIDS. Let us now discuss contraceptive methods. What do you mean by contraceptive methods? Methods to prevent unwanted pregnancies. Now, why do people adopt such methods? What are the reasons? First of all, health of the mother and child, to maintain a gap between two children, for economic stability, and also to prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Now, there are various methods of contraception. First, mechanical barrier. Now, what do you mean by mechanical barrier? An external barrier is created so that the sperm does not reach the egg or ovum. Examples for this are condoms for the penis and vaginal coverings. Second, to disturb or to change the hormonal balance. This is in the form of pills or drugs that has to be taken orally. It so happens that the egg release is prevented, thus fertilization is prevented. But this method has side effects because of the intake of pills. The third is IUCD, that is intrauterine contraceptive devices. Example for this are loops and copper T. It is a T-shaped structure made of copper and placed inside the vagina. This again causes irritation and side effects. The fourth method is surgery, that is blocking of the vas deferens or fallopian tube. Therefore, surgery in males is known as vasectomy and in females it is known as tubectomy. Surgery is a permanent solution, but surgery itself has certain complications if not done properly. It may cause infection. Surgery is also done to prevent unwanted pregnancies or to remove the fetus. This is rampant in our society, especially when people want a particular child, that is the male child, and they do not want the female child. So to remove the fetus, surgery is done. This is known as female feticide. This is rampant in our society. And because of this, it disturbs the male-female sex ratio. And it is very important to maintain this male-female sex ratio for a healthy society. Therefore, prenatal sex determination is prohibited by our law. Then how is the size of the population determined? The size of the population is determined by the birth and death rate. And the size of the population is a cause for concern because it undermines the standard of living of the people, causes inequality in the society, and also economical instability, etc. Thus, we have completed this chapter, How do organisms reproduce? Thank you.